Hi there, Craig Hocknell here, inventor of the Saber Sports Trainer. In my hands is the Saber Lacrosse Trainer. So I'm out here at lacrosse practice. This is where my kids practice. And I created the Saber Golf Trainer, and then I thought, you know what? It's athletic motion, it's load and release. In the golf swing, it loads and releases this way. What about if I made some modifications to it and came up with a Saber Lacrosse Trainer? So here it is right here. So the design features of the Saber Lacrosse Trainer: it is square. It has a similar shape to a lacrosse stick. So when you're working on your cradling, you can actually hear the ball. I'm sure you can hear that through my mic, kind of rattling. So picture your kids indoors. It's a rainy day. There's nobody to play catch with, and they just need to work on some techniques. So they can hold their Saber like this and work on cradling. On the Saber is a system that I created along with the help of my kids' lacrosse coaches. And what it does is it describes the shooting motion or the passing motion. So when my kids started, and a lot of kids start playing lacrosse, a lot of times what they do is they take their stick, they got their net right here, and then they lob it, right? So all they're doing is kind of passing it like this. They're not actually creating that athletic motion and that snap. So instead of taking the handle and delivering it down and snapping it out, what they do is they just kind of push it or shove it. So what this does as a shot trainer and as a passing trainer is it guides the kids through the steps. So at the top here it says grip, right? So this is where you're going to grip it if you were cradling. Then what you're going to do is you're going to set it. So what that means is you're going to set the ball at the appropriate end, right? Then the next word is load. So you're going to load up. So that means you're going to turn your shoulders back and load yourself up. The next set is to take a step, because a lot of times kids will kind of load up and they'll be flat-footed, and then they'll try to throw it and they won't have that athletic full release. So what you want to do is take a step. Once you've taken that step, you want to brace the lead leg. So a lot of times when you're going for that powerful shot, if you take a step and then another step, you're not going to get the proper stop and snap. So posting is the definition of that would be to lock up or kind of post that leg so that the follow through takes place and the speed happens. So that's where the next one is snap, right? So the ball that's in the Saber, you can hear it snapping, right? That is athletic load and release. So that energy is releasing and accelerating. And then what you're going to do is hold. You hold your follow through. So one of the design features of the Saber, so the Saber Lacrosse Trainer, is that it has a red stripe on top. What you want to do on that when you're coaching kids is you want to make sure that as you follow through, you've checked their measurement for where they're going to shoot from or pass from down to their elbow. And then as you're levering the Saber back and forth, what you're also doing is you're being mindful of where the red stripe is. So let's say I'm going to shoot at this goal over here in the distance. I'm going to make sure that as I do my routine, set, right, step, post, snap, that red stripe is going exactly straight down the top. Because a lot of times what will happen is as kids go through, they twist and they roll their wrist over. And if they're passing, if I'm going to shoot or pass straight to you and I come through and I put a little twist in there, that ball is going to come out of the stick crooked. So what you want to do is keep that red stripe on top, snap directly back, right? So it's pointed here. So that's the final feature where it says hold. So you're gripping it up here. You're setting the ball in the handle down at this end. You're loading up. You're stepping. You're posting that leg, snapping and holding, right? So this way you're passing deliberately and accurately. So instead of having a neighbor kid who probably doesn't play lacrosse come on out and play catch with you, or instead of finding a wall that's sturdy enough to receive a lacrosse ball, now you can be practicing your technique. So the Saber has 4 key components: strength, speed, timing, and technique. I basically went over all of the technique components. The timing component is right there with that snapping ball. So if you snap too late, you snap it into the ground, your energy release is at the wrong point. If you hear it snap up here, well, that it snapped up here and you just overshot it, you threw it too high. So that's timing. If you're gripping the end here that says light snap, what you're doing is working on your speed. So this is very light in your hands, you're working on speed. If you flip it over, now you've got a heavy end. So now you're working on strength. So this saber feels very, very heavy. You're not necessarily going to create snap, but what you're going to do is create that motion. Right? So you're building strength. So as a warm-up saber, before matches, before games, you're going to come out, warm up with your saber, get your arms strong, get them warmed up, go through the motion. Coaches can help to create proper form, turning their back, stepping, posting, snapping, working on that technique. If you're using the heavy end, you're building strength and skill. Flipping it over, now you're working on your speed. So there's the Saber Lacrosse Trainer. As a golf professional and as a lacrosse dad, I'm very excited to bring this to you. My kids love using it, and it's really been able to help them improve their strength and speed and ultimately pass that ball quickly and accurately and take faster shots on goal. So we look forward to hearing reviews from you on the Saber Lacrosse Trainer and winning more games because you're training correctly.